let us have that combustion. What is the subject? What are the sectors where combustion is important, and what basically we are trying to investigate or trying to understand. So syllabus, as we have discussed up to this part, I will be taking first half before mid-sem. So today we'll try to start thermodynamics, kinetics, premix flames, and limit phenomena. And rest of the things Dr. Santosh will take from after mid-sem. These are the books. So mostly I will be following Turns and Glassman. Turns, Glassman, and Law. These are the basic books that I will be using for my section. For modeling and all, this is a good book to get some theoretical understanding. And these are basically application-based books. So when you go for gas turbine or IC engines, then you can refer to these books. And this link also will be useful for some applications which we'll see as we go along the course. So why to study combustion? We have seen that fire is one of the most important discoveries, and you will be surprised it is like 1,000 years ago we have discovered fire or combustion, and still there are several aspects in which we have very limited understanding. That is what makes this subject interesting, is that there are a lot of things where we are still trying to, let us say, scratching the surface. So there's a lot more to be done, especially in case of reactions, modeling of flames, and things like that. So we'll get a glimpse of all those as we go along the course. And this again we have covered yesterday, various applications or where we use combustion basically. Okay, so we are using combustion in defense, aviation, space. Also, I would like you to appreciate the length and time scales. Okay, so let us talk about length scale. So we are having order of meters. Okay, this rocket nozzle or the flame will be in some meters. While if you go to gas stove, it is in centimeters, right? The flame, the nozzle is of some millimeter dia, right? So we have very small devices, large devices. Let us talk about time scales. So time scales means that your device will run for this power plant will run for some hours or some days, while in engines, ignition is one cycle is completed within at a much smaller time than a second. So when we talk about engine, what we say that engine is running at some RPM, let us say 1,000 RPM. What it means that it is completing 1,000 rotations in 1 minute, right? So one cycle will have one phase of combustion. So the combustion part finishes typically within some milliseconds or basically within a second. That's what I'm trying to highlight here. So we have, and when we go in detailed discussion about combustion, we'll talk about different chemical reactions that take place, and that reactions are taking place in less than let's say 10 to the power minus 8 or minus 7 second. So that is the range of time scales we are talking about. We are running something for hours. So why I'm stressing this part is that, let's say that you want to make a computational model. Okay, I want to, let us say, model how are things working in a rocket engine. So I have to make a model for some that my computer simulation will have calculation for some seconds or some minutes to understand what is going on in this rocket, right? And the chemical reactions that I need to account to get proper calculation will be of the order of minus 10 to the power minus 8 second. 100 part of a microsecond. Just imagine that. So all these have to be taken into account to do a proper calculation for a rocket. So this is the challenge what we face in combustion, that there are large range of length scales, time scales, and not only that, there are different subjects involved. So you need to have good grasp over fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, heat transfer, some background from chemical kinetics. So all that goes in, and then you get some product by using combustion technology. So we discussed this yesterday, how we are getting different colors. So if you see this slide, this I have added to explain this. So if you have different salts, that will give you different colors based on what sort of atomic excitation what we are getting. Okay, so this type of excitation is actually very useful when we try to understand combustion using laser diagnostics. So while I am doing like experiment, we'll use a laser to excite some target species. Okay, let us say I want to see where we are having OH or some other polluting species, and we can exactly see where it is located by using advanced laser based diagnostics. That is actually not a part of this course, but little bit we can talk about once we understand what are the different types of flames. So we'll get some flavor. What are the research areas? What people do? How that is done? That will be some interesting stuff if someone is interested for higher studies. Moving on. So this again we discussed that there are different time scales involved, and based on that there are different speed at which combustion progresses. So for example, the speed of flame of a agarbatti or a cigarette, it is much slower as compared to a gas explosion. Okay, or let us say a fire in an ice engine. They have very different speeds. So what makes them different? Same reaction is going. A fuel is basically, you can write a general from that a fuel is getting oxidized. Fuel plus oxygen gives rise to product. That is all that is happening in all the devices when we talk about combustion. But because of different types of flames, different processes involved, they are getting done at different speeds. Okay. So let us talk about the contribution of fuel or combustion generated power. So this is your total energy supply for our country for from 1990. So as you can see, coal has been a dominant, it shares a dominant percentage of power generation. Okay, coal, oil, basically they were burning these fuels in power plant or gas turbine or ice engines to generate power. We are also using natural gas, biofuels has increased considerably, and we are also going green. These are for nuclear or renewable sources. And similarly, if you look at electricity generation, there coal plays a dominant role. Okay, till today, a majority of our plant, I think 53 or 55%, are operated based on burning coal. So other sources are also there, like hydro and wind. These are hopefully they are growing in future, but still historically until today, coal and natural gas, these remain the dominant sources for electricity, not only in India but throughout the world. So this is the installed capacity in India. So as you can see, in on 1st January, on end of January this year, so we have about 53% of coal, and we also have a large percentage of gas, biomass, and diesel. These all are operated by burning, combustion, and this is how it fossil fuels have use of fossil fuel has increased along time. Okay, so hopefully renewables are also catching up, but still for quite foreseeable future, fossil fuel will be a major source for our power generation. Okay, now let us talk about, since yesterday we had some discussion on electric vehicles and all that. So let us see what is the difference, or why combustion is so important or so difficult to replace. So if you look at this table, okay, let us talk about a petrol engine where I am burning petrol. So there's a term called energy density. So basically it means that how much energy you will getting per kilogram of that fuel or per kilogram of that device. So petrol will give you, if you burn petrol, you will have 47.5 megajoule. Okay, 10 to the power 6 joule per kilogram of petrol. Okay, this is directly coming from the calorific value. I hope you all are aware of calorific value. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So now let us talk about lithium battery. So
Sir, I have a question.
yes, please.
Sir, as we have all know that this calorific value thing exists, like energy produced per gram, then why this energy density terminology has been introduced?
So calorific value you can use for fuel like petrol or diesel, but
Okay.
lithium they are not burning it. So basically, if you want to compare two energy sources, okay, this is one source, this is one source. Is it clear? I am not burning lithium battery, but I am getting some power from that. So how much power per kilogram will be able to provide? That's the question.
Okay.
Sir, sir, I have a doubt.
Yes, yes.
Uh, Sir, the energy density of petrol is heat. The energy that it has the form of heat, but the Li battery will produce electrical energy.
Yes.
So, is it right to compare them just on the basis of magnitude?
Let me finish this slide. The next table is will answer what you are asking. Okay. So let us go to the next table. So this is what petrol will burn and produce. But if you want to convert it to power or electricity, it has a very poor efficiency, as you can see. Okay. So here is we need to work on. We cannot increase it to like 60 or 80%, but still we can try to increase it and we can try to reduce pollution. That is what our role as a combustion engineer will focus on. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
So although lithium has like 100 times lower energy density, but it has much higher efficiency. But overall, if you see, if you multiply 47 by 15%, it is still higher, right? So just to give some perspective, what are the energy density and what are the applicability of battery powered and petrol powered? And again, please remember that for any battery powered vehicle, we are also burning fuel somewhere. Okay. So imagine in India, 50 more than 50% is electricity is generated by burning this coal. Coal is like honestly one of the worst fuels to burn. It is the most polluting fuel. Okay. So when you say that electric car is very clean and green, you are forgetting about this part where this electricity is coming. If you are generating electricity by solar or wind or let us say hydropower, then it is good. But as you can see, this is the current scenario here. So unless we get a major shift for renewable, this will be a challenge. Okay, anyway, this let us not digress too much. I just wanted to give a flavor of what are the numbers we are talking about. Okay, issues about combustion we discussed, global warming, pollution, all these things are there, right? So, what are the applications? So, we can try to let us say control this. Okay, let us list it out. So, combustion we are using in our domestic household application. We are using candles, we are using LPG, we are using lighters, agarbatti. All these are domestic application. Then we use combustion to generate energy or electricity. So we can look at thermal plants which are burning some fuel to generate energy. Okay, you are using it for transport. All your uh, IC engine powered vehicles, they work on combustion. They are burning fuel to generate energy. So basically, what we do is an engine, we burn fuel to generate chemical energy is transferred to heat energy. That heat energy we use to convert it to mechanical energy. That is what we are using in all transport vehicles. Then combustion is a major has a very interesting and major application in defense related work. Okay, so you are firing bombs, or your bombs. You can also talk about firecrackers that you fire in Diwali, or you can talk about uh, aerospace applications. Okay, all your fighter jets, missiles, they operate on burning fuel. So there could be different types of fuels. So it could be working on solid fuel, liquid fuel, or it could have gaseous fuels also. But most of the defense related equipment are working on combustion. So space. So when you're, as I mentioned in previous slides, so all the rockets mostly they are burning hydrogen. So they store liquid hydrogen. There are different fuels that use for space application. There are some hydrogen, other fuels also, but mostly combustion related stuff is still very important. Then in industry or manufacturing, so where you want to heat something, you want to generate power, or for many process industries, combustion still is a very important source of energy or heat. And while you are using combustion in so many places, so fire safety or risk becomes a very important aspect there. So whenever you are installing a factory, or you are considering gas pipelines and all that, so their risk assessment becomes very important. Here insurance companies also come into picture, which is actually, some of you might be surprised, but I was actually surprised that some major research in fire safety was done by insurance companies. Okay, now what you need to do, or what you need to expect out of this subject. So basically, you need to, at the end, by the application of this subject, you should be able to make better or more efficient systems which will burn less fuel. It should be less polluting, and it should be safe to operate. Okay, so risk should be eliminated. You should have better control over a process, and you should also look for sustainable applications. Okay, for example, biodiesel. This will be, it could be classified as renewable source, because crop we can generate again and again, unlike fossil fuel which are depleting. Now, what are the various disciplines or various subjects which come into application here? So we'll talk about fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, transport phenomena. So basically, when we talk about mixing and diffusion of fuel, so this becomes important. Then we'll talk about kinetics. What are the different reactions involved? How do we make calculation for equilibrium, forward reaction, backward reaction? So this will, especially when you talk about pollutant generation, there the understanding of kinetics becomes really important. When you, let us say you want to design an engine which will reduce NOx. NOx is nitrogen oxides, or you want to reduce soot. So we need a good understanding of kinetics to be able to work on those type of problems. Okay, now what are the different types of flames? Okay, so you can say that these things will cover. So don't worry if you are not able to understand, but there are premixed and non-premixed or diffusion flames. So this we will cover in detail. Laminar turbulent, I hope you all are aware from fluid mechanics. So flame could also be, if you are having a lower Reynolds number, it will be laminar. For higher Reynolds number, which is actually true for most of the applications, it will be turbulent. Then your flame could be subsonic, or it could be supersonic also. Anyone can guess any example for supersonic combustion?
Fighter jets.
Yeah, fighter jets. Not
Sir, it
all.
is based upon Mach number, higher Mach number, supersonic.
Yes, so that's true. But where do we apply? Where do you see a flame of that speed?
I cannot recall exactly.
So rocket engines.
Yes, so some hypersonic or supersonic engines will have supersonic flames. Or when we talk about explosion, so suppose there is a large gas gas cloud or vapor cloud, that could also go to supersonic speeds if it is large enough. Okay.
Nuclear explosion, maybe.
Nuclear is not actually combustion. Nuclear is there's nuclear reaction going on. Here we are talking about things. Combustion means a very simple. I can say that you have a fuel that burns with oxygen. Fuel plus oxidizer gives rise to product. That is a let us say framework or skeletal way of looking at combustion. Nuclear reaction, what happens? You have a nuclear fuel, let us say uranium. It is undergoing some nuclear reactions, let us say fission, or if you are having hydrogen, it will go to fusion. That is different from combustion. Okay. And we'll also look at homogeneous or heterogeneous fuels. So, okay, let us. I wanted to leave you with the question. So, why this flame is blue and this is yellow? Can anyone guess?
Sir, incomplete combustion in the blue one.
Correct? No, no, no.
Incomplete combustion in the yellow one.
Yellow
Yellow
one.
one, sorry. Yellow one.
Okay. Anyway, this was something you will understand in after I think third chapter, but this is more efficient. This will give you let us say more heat, and this will give you less pollution. So what we see is here we have lot of soot particles. Soot means you know that black powdery particle which if you put some plate or on top of it, it will be black, right? So that soot is basically giving you this yellow color. So that is basically you can say unburned carbon particles. So this is lowers your efficiency, increases your pollution. So this is more efficient than this. That's why it is not looking yellow. Okay. So with that, I stop this first introductory slides. Let me stop recording.